Man, oh man, does time fly by so quickly. It's been 1,000 plus hours now of playing Destiny 2 and going back all the way to day 0 with my first video, what it's really like as a Destiny player. What a time. But in this video, we're going to go over my experiences now as a player who's been playing for over 1,000 hours, what it's really like, and much more. So that being said, if you want to see more Destiny 2 content like this on the channel, sci-fi content, and much more, then be sure as always to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get straight into the video. But one of the things I've learned after 1,000 hours of playing Destiny 2 and just evolving as a player is my shift in perspective when it comes to just build crafting in general and coming to appreciate the other classes that are not hunter. Because for one, I'm a hunter main. I main Arc Hunter specifically, and that's been part of my brand for a very long time now. But one of the things I've had to open my mind to was the fact that there are other cool and exciting classes out there, fun classes out there that, you know, if I had just remained in my little Arc Hunter, closet, I wouldn't have come to appreciate it. And so one good example is Warlock. For the longest time, I was intrigued by Warlock, but not to the extent that I am right now with regards to Sunbracers Warlock. And that one build in particular is what I love the most. I'm a Sunbracers main, and that's probably not going to change for a while. Sunbracers to me is by far, to me, the most fun, the most active, and Icarus Dash alongside that is just super fun to use. I love it so much, and so I've come to appreciate what Warlocks can bring to the table as far as their own unique playstyle and subclasses and what have you. And that only came through my shift in perspective with regards to the game. Over time, it was more or less, I wouldn't say stubborn, but it was more or less, I had a focus in mind as to what I wanted to do and how I wanted to play the game. But over time, I realized that I had to kind of open up that realm of creativity a lot more and expand. And through that expansion, I learned more about myself and what I can and can't do. But more importantly, I learned what else in the game is really fun and what is fun for me. And I think that's the most important thing to emphasize here is you have to really decide on what's best for you, regardless of what people suggest, because everyone's got suggestions. Oh yeah, you should do this, or ah, you should play that. And while that's great and everything, ultimately the decision comes back to you, and you have to decide what's going to be fun. And over 1,000 hours, I've come to recognize and appreciate what's fun for me. And most notably, as I mentioned, Arc Hunter being one of them, and Sunbracers Warlock being the other one. Those two right now, I'm really, really trying to master and really perfect and refine. And I think that's another part of this game that I love, is that once you do find something you love, you can just sit back, refine it, and try different weapon combinations. And that another thing too, like another thing for me was weapons. I was so reluctant at a time to play with grenade launchers. I was like totally against them for so long. But after I was shown and convinced how potentially dangerous and really good they are in the long term, and especially end game, again, my mind opened up to possibilities, and thus here we are 1,000 hours later, and now I'm using GLs almost every build. So I think Destiny 2 right now as the game is evolving, and I'm evolving with the game. And so I'm looking forward to what's coming in the future, most notably for the Warlock Super, which is basically Sunbracers on, on high. And then of course, Arc Hunter is going to be nasty, prismatic. So look forward to, videos like that in the future for build combo videos. And yeah, that being said, let's move on to the next point. Now, I'm by no means a specialist and I'm by no means a aficionado in, solo dungeon runs or any, big raids. But I will say that, being a teacher or a Sherpa for new players, or at least marketing a Destiny 2 as a game where new players can feel appreciated, I think I'm doing a pretty good job. And so being a teacher for one thing, I think is really fulfilling. It's a really uplifting role to have. And it's because you're using the knowledge you've gained through your own experience to share with others and help them become more in alignment with the game of Destiny 2, whether it's endgame content or just simply helping them along the way towards the endgame itself. And so being a teacher, or I guess in this case a Sherpa for Destiny 2 content, has made me feel a lot more at peace, because I remember myself just a few months ago. I was that new dude and I came into the game and I was lost in the sauce, but I had a great community of people who came through and are still with me today. So shout out to all of my homies in the community. I appreciate and love all of you. And because of them, because of their kindness, because of their patience and willingness to show me the light, I was able to really come to appreciate Destiny 2 a lot more. And so I'm using that to pay it forward to others who are also new, and just give them the same experience that I received and much more, because now I'm doing it from my own perspective. And of course, granted, I am a teacher in real life. I've taught here in Japan now for a long time, many years, even before that. I mean, I don't teach anymore, but I was a teacher in Japan. Now I'm, of course, a full-time content creator, as you can tell. But more or less, I feel really happy. My joy comes from seeing others happy. And so when I'm able to teach somebody something that I was able to learn, but simplify it and make it straightforward so that way their lives are easier based on my teaching style, I feel very, very happy. And just, again, I feel this sense of peace, because sharing kindness will always give you more kindness in the end. And I think that, to me, is what I tend to market and brand myself around, is, you give kindness and you receive it in return. So for me, being a Sherpa after 1,000 hours, it feels great. Of course, I'm still learning. There's, as I said before, I'm no specialist by any means, but I've just taken my own experiences and have tried to align that with, the newcomers that come to the game, the new lights, and give them a great, insightful, and very exciting means to get their feet wet into the world of Destiny 2. So that being said, let's keep going on to the next point. One of the greatest minds of all time, Albert Einstein, once said, "Only one who devotes himself to a cause with his whole strength and soul can be a true master. For this reason, mastery demands all of a person." So this goes back to my topic on Arc Hunter and Sunbracers Warlock, and why I really try to hone in and focus very carefully on refining and mastering those respective builds. And that's just because A, I love them. They're very fun to play. 2, it's my brand. And as a content creator, for those who want to become one, by the way, here's some advice to you. Really have a brand and build it around something exclusive to you that you love. And that's just because, mastering something means that people can come to you and ask you for questions. And because you specialize in it so well, you have all the key ingredients to share, and thus help the community grow in a much more profound way. Now, this isn't to discredit those who love flex slots and who like to play various builds. This isn't to discredit or insult. This is more or less my own experience of playing other games, most notably fighting games, where character mastery is at the utmost importance. Because learning your character from the inside out can help you with, understanding matchups and understanding how to fight against different opponents. And so mastering a character can really help you to lock your mind in and not kind of split your attention too far and too many directions to the point where you don't know what to do. You become a jack of all trades, master of none. And that was once a person I was, in the past life, that's who I was. But nowadays I've understood the importance of mastery. And so Destiny 2, after 1,000 hours, has taught me that. 1,000 hours is a long time. So I've dabbled with various different things, and that I think comes with the journey of mastery is experimentation. And so I've experimented with different builds, whether it's stasis lock or void lock or solar hunter, strand hunter. I've even dabbled a little bit with solar titan back in the day when I first started, even stasis titan. But ultimately my heart was drawn to Arc Hunter, most notably Moth Keeper's Arc Hunter, and then with Sunbracers Warlock. And to me, I feel great because those two particular builds really complement my playstyle a lot. And because I'm really into movement tech, I love mobility. I love being able to dash left and right, swiftly. And of course, Icarus Dash is now like my favorite ability to utilize. And again, this is just part of my process of understanding Destiny 2. And so mastery to me is really integral to really appreciating Destiny 2. And so I encourage you, those who are tuning in, master something. Become a master of a specific build and be happy about it, because you can share that knowledge with someone else and help the community grow. And people will come to you because you're the sensei, you're the teacher who can really help others learn that build and loadout. So mastery for me in Destiny 2 is really integral because it can help in endgame content, and just overall it's fun. And of course we're playing this game to have fun, and as long as you're doing that, you're in good hands. So that being said, let's move on to the next point. Just like real life, over time, we as people evolve and we grow. And if there's one thing that I can take away from playing Destiny 2 for over 1,000 hours, is that I've definitely grown as a player through my community and through Destiny 2's community as a whole. And that's because so many people have come to me with advice and suggestions, of course. And a lot of those suggestions, they were good. Some weren't as good. But the ones that did help, they definitely helped to shape my approach to how I play. And so I can appreciate the good and the bad, regardless of what's given. And that's just because everyone who does provide advice, it all comes from a good place. And that's because Destiny 2, from my experience thus far, has just been a community that's always willing to help, always willing to give a helping hand. Even if you may not agree on things, it doesn't really matter. The point is that eventually you're going to come to a point where you have to embrace and accept your own path. And just like in Destiny 2, we have to choose our path. You want to be a Titan, you want to be a Hunter, you want to be a Warlock. Do you want to choose the light? Do you want to choose the dark? It's all ultimately your choice. And that's the beauty of Destiny 2, is that it's a choice that is given to you. And so my final thoughts on my experience thus far over 1,000 hours is just maturity. I think this game, just like life, matures you, and it helps to shape you. The people who you've met, the people who you've built a relationship with, the builds and the build crafting and all the different modes you can choose from, they all help to shape you as a player and help to develop you as a player. And that is something I'm truly grateful for, because there's no other game like Destiny 2. I'll be honest. I've tried. I'm not going to lie. There are times where I thought to myself, maybe I should hop off this game, take a bit of a break, because I've been playing nonstop since I've started playing the game. Can't lie. And I've tried. I've looked elsewhere. I'm like, okay, maybe I should try this game, or maybe I should go back to this game. And lo and behold, nothing holds a candle to Destiny 2. This game is in a league of its own, and I appreciate that. And so moving forward into the future of Destiny 2 with Final Shape coming to a close as far as the huge lore and the narrative, and moving into the more episodic categories of Destiny 2 for the future, I'm optimistic, and I always have been, and I look forward to what's in store with the prismatic abilities. And so if that's anything of an indicator of what's to come, that's just going to be pure creativity at its finest, and that's where I tend to shine most. So look forward to some prismatic videos in the future. But in the end, here we are, 1,000 hours plus, and I'm very happy, I'm very content, and I appreciate all of you for tuning in and watching this far and hearing my 2 cents on what Destiny 2 means to me, how much it's changed me, and hopefully down the road it'll help to better refine the community as a whole through my perspective, and hopefully my perspective can be an enlightening one and be a positive light in what can oftentimes be a toxic one. So thank you all for being here. Appreciate you all. If you enjoy the content on this channel, you want to see more, or you want to be an extra part of the community, become a member here on YouTube, subscribe on Kick. And as always, New Warriors, stay strong, keep fighting, and may the force be with you all, always. All right, stay well, be well. See you next time. Peace.